one of the biggest challenges that I always have in selling what we do is showing it. It's really difficult to show a service. We very early on decided that we weren't going to be product focused, we were going to be solution providers. And the gap that we saw in the market was that people were having a really hard time making content accessible, particularly at an institutional level. It was too much, and it was at that time too technical for most people to tackle. The resources that were available were very difficult to understand, and we wanted to make it easy for our customers. So over the last 6 years, we have really worked at making PDF accessibility easy for our customers. We build a number of custom solutions for on-demand services. We have a product called DAXIS, or Document Accessibility Express Service. And basically a function is put into every single legacy PDF on your website. And a client can come along and it identifies the file as being inaccessible. Rather than just being a brick wall that says nothing, it says that this file is inaccessible. If you'd like it to be accessible, select this. It's sent to us and it's returned in either 24, 48, or 72 hours, depending on the length and complexity of the content. So a lot of our large institutional clients, particularly in the US, where they don't have the same laws that we have in Canada, like to deal with their PDF accessibility problems that way because it's cost effective. It's $2 a PDF. It's basically an insurance policy to make sure that you've got a solution in case someone asks. We work with a large number of large institutions who outsource all of their PDF production to us, so we have dedicated portals for them. They're branded like the client, and again, everything comes through us, so it's an easy way to track, it's an easy way to bill, and it's an easy way to remediate. We really are in the business of risk mitigation for our clients. Not only are we obviously making the content accessible, but for the organization, this is a regulatory issue, and that's how it's been looked at. It's not a feel-good, happy story about making the world a greater place. Most organizations are terrified about being sued. That is just unfortunately the reality of the world that we live in. So we sit in the business of risk mitigation for those clients. We carry $10 million in liability insurance on every single PDF file that we make accessible. So in the event that a file isn't, in the event that a client complains about a document being inaccessible, we fight for them. We go to court for them. We indicate and walk through how this file is accessible. And before that, we're really a partner with our clients. We look at making sure that their end users can read the file, because not all end users have been taught how to read a PDF with their screen readers. So we'll walk those clients through and teach them how to use it. We don't do training. We decided very long ago that that wasn't the business we were in, because we can't teach it in a day. Most organizations don't have the time and effort to spend to really learn this. This room is an exception, but most organizations don't. They look at, how do I quickly take care of my problems? So we decided not to do the training. And particularly from a risk mitigation standpoint for us, we didn't want that reputational risk. So again, we look at how do we deal with the different types of files that we're going to deal with and build a document accessibility strategy for our clients to make it easy for them. And that's my 5. Thank you. I've got the elevator down.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to be assigning his excess time to the next vendor. But the next vendor you'll be hearing from is Axio. I believe you're the next vendor alphabetically.
Yes, good morning. My name is Kent Over. I'm in a company called New Format, and basically we're acting as a reseller solution provider in the Nordic and Baltic region. And today I would like to present to you Major Tag. And Major Tag is coming from Axio software, and it is specifically working hand in hand with Adobe InDesign. And before going on, I would like to present for you a document that I got in my hands in my hometown. So I live in Stockholm, and This is a very good document. It's a high-profile document on how the city is supporting the whole infrastructure, making it available for any kind of person living in Stockholm. So it takes care of things like everything should be accessible, and it's based on the United Nations Convention on Human Rights and so on. It also specifically says that all information provided by the city has to be in accessible form. So there shouldn't be any question about that. So of course, I got it in my hands, and then I thought, this is a printed version, and then I said, oh, let's search on the web. And then I found it on the web, and downloaded it, of course, because I wanted to find out if it was in an accessible digital form. And of course not. So this is a typical case where you produce a very nice, very good magazine aimed to reach the whole community, also specifically the disability community. And then when you have got to send it to print, you say, this is a nice piece of PDF, let's put it up on the web. And this is actually something that is not very good, and of course I have to put up a question mark now. Just to highlight this. It's not that easy to make things accessible. So here are some of the building blocks needed for making accessible PDF, and they are all supported by Made2Tag. It's about reading order, it's about organizing content on macro and micro level. It is to be able to provide metadata and also to text features, items in the publication that are sort of non-text content. So it works as a plugin for InDesign from CC 5.5 to CC 2015, Mac and Windows. So it's aimed to make it much easier, much faster, and more reliable for anyone working with InDesign. It has some specific target groups. I would say it's definitely, of course, it's any type of InDesign user in public administration, in media services, and so on. And it's already available in 8 languages. I hope and I guess it will be available in many more languages later on. So some key features. It's aimed to tag in a user-friendly way, and it also has a very good feature called Problem Locator, which helps you to identify parts of the document that needs a fix. It could be displays, HAL, returns, and so on. And one of the best features is the 7-step guide, which helps you to go through this process of tagging a document. So it means that you jump out of the supporting tools in InDesign and you go through this 7-step model. And it gives you a lot of visual feedback, both on the tags and the structure and language selections, keyboard shortcuts, and so on. And the last feature here it's now also supporting not only PDF UA, but also for archiving purposes, PFA-2A. So this is the 7-step model, and you can see it later on in more details on the laptop in the corner. But if it's an easy model to follow, it's natural flow, and in the end, when you have gone through all the steps, you just press the button and create a tag PDF. It's important to create the tag PDF from inside Made2Tag. So please don't go back and do it in InDesign, because that is screwed up. And this is a visual feedback of the structure of tags. And also this is a picture showing when you define your languages, the primary language, the secondary language, and so on. And also keyboard shortcuts, which is extremely good and useful if you are, the more you work with the product, the more you can take on much heavier load of jobs, and then you need shortcuts. So this is a perfect fit for any InDesign user. And we provide a 30 days free trial. Just go to axi.com and look for download section. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. Next, we'll hear from Marcus Oehlen from Access 4. I should mention this is not your only opportunity to hear from these vendors. There'll be, as you can tell from the program, sessions throughout the day in which each of these solution providers will have an extended opportunity to demonstrate and show off their particular solutions. So here we're just giving you a taste of each one. Next up, go ahead, Marcus.
Oh, where's the microphone? Or no, do I have a head?
You can have a headphone.
I move around, so I prefer this one. Okay.
All right, your time starts now.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I represent you XSPF Quick Fix. Do you hear me? Is it on? Yeah? Is it on? Only for decoration? Yeah. Okay, yeah, sounds better. Okay. So, only 4 minutes? Okay. Good morning, everybody. I will present XSPF Quick Fix. What is XSPF Quick Fix? It's a magic tool to find and fix accessibility issues easily to comply with PDF UA. And what can you do with it? You save time during the quality assurance. You make PDF fully accessible according to PDF UA and WCAG2. You find accessibility issues quickly and easily. I will show you an example. And you can fix most of them nearly instantly with a single click, in most cases only with a single button. And we always try to let clients speak. I'm not sure if Ted is already available, but he confessed yesterday XSPF Quick Fix is the best thing since the creation of the world. It just does the job. I'm a fan, and so he should stand here and explain the benefits of it. So maybe when he arrives, ask him how he uses it. Who benefits most? All professionals who evaluate and or remediate accessible PDFs. It's really a professional tool. You need some PDF accessibility knowledge to use it efficiently. And I will show you 1 or 2 examples only as an appetizer. If you want to see more or some tricky things, I would love to show it at the table desk. And I show you the tool. And for example, it's possible, it's an advanced searching. And you can search the whole tag tree. I have here written TH for a table header, and I can search for it. And it marks the table header, and I can edit in one view the properties of several tags in one step. I show it to you. I go to the next table here, and you see the table header doesn't have a scope. It's maybe you see it here in the properties panel. It doesn't have a scope. So I select all the table header cells in one step and change the scope to column. And if I go to one, you see it will highlight all the related table data cells. So you can check it, you can remediate, you can find the issue, you can remediate it, fix it, and you instantly can have the control, is it solved or not. And the last example is insert spaces. This is the favorite feature of TED Page, and here I have a short example. I show you the issue. You see here, for example, words without spaces here or in the line above, and we heard yesterday, René said, oh, it's really a severe barrier, and you can solve it by clicking one button. Insert spaces. There are default settings. They work for most cases, but you can customize it. And I click OK. Then I refresh the preview, and you see all the spaces are inserted. Okay, if you want to see more, I would love to say you some, to show you some more tricks. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcus. Your next speed dating session. Oh, you want
Good morning. Oh, we're going to...
yeah, so next you'll be hearing from Olaf Truman, CEO of Callus Software.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm glad you made it. Did not get stuck at breakfast. I'll briefly talk about a commercial product, a pilot that's for a completely different industry, with a free feature built in. And that's about PDF validation. There's already a tool in the market, another free tool, PDF Accessibility Checker version 2. But we had to make one as well because we are specializing in checking and pre-flagging. We do it for PDFX, PDFA, PDFUT, PDFB, and so forth. So we had to do it for PDFUA as well, and we decided to just enrich the options that you can find by making it free available to everybody. So you get the demo version of the commercial product, but you can use the PDFUA validation for free. The product is called Callus PDFA Pilot. That's the splash screen you will see when you launch it. And then if you wanted to double check the quality of a given PDF file regarding tagging and accessibility, you'd open it in PDFA Pilot, ask PDFA Pilot to run a PDFUA check on it, and to verify compliance with the PDFUA 1 standard. It already points to the fact that we can, on the computer, only do the syntax checks, not some of the interactive checking that is obviously required as well to determine performance with the PDFUA 1 standard. You run the check, you may or may not find that certain problems are flagged by PDFA Pilot. In this case, there are a couple of problems, some of a very technical nature that you would normally not fix by hand by using the tool, and others maybe that require some more meaningful interaction with the document. There's a very important aspect here in how we report the outcome of the check. So we don't just tell you about the syntax problems, we also alert you that there's the other half of checking, the interactive checking of the semantic structure and so forth. It's indicated by the question mark in the lower half of the button. Because we, as a piece of software, can't offer to you to just do it for you, we are just giving you an option that you can do it, and then also include the results of the interactive checking and the overall results of the PDFUA check. Anyway, looking at the syntactical problem, we do offer some features in PDFA Pilot that you would have to pay for that can fix certain problems. It's not as rich as what Marcus was just showing, but it does especially fix some of the more syntax style problems that you will never fix by hand anyway, because except if you're a programmer, that's not what you should be doing. So we can try again. I've just used the tool to save it out as a PDF UA, but I didn't check the semantic structure yet. So it may be PDF UA 1 conforming or not. By clicking on one of these buttons in the lower document message area, you can right away just launch the check again for PDF UA 1. There's still some problems, so maybe some more work is needed to fix the file. But let's now have a look at the other part, the interactive checking of the semantic structure. There's an analyze button, which will show you something that you may have just have seen minutes ago. It's a structural diagnostic display of the content structure. In this case, you can see, if you can see, that it's not very well structured. There's an empty table at the beginning, there's lots of empty paragraph text. There's some other issues in the file, like all the headings are actually simple list items. The list is just one list item, are used for headings, which is not very useful. Tables, the tables in this case have header cells that are filled, but the data cells are all empty, so that's probably not very useful when you have to access content through some other means than looking at the screen. It's not a regularly shaped table, so there's some problems there as well. So lots of issues. So even if we fixed all the syntax problems, this would still not be a good PDF UA 1 file. Actually, it would not be PDF UA 1 conforming. So you would have to note this accordingly. By picking the right option in this case, I will declare I have found errors. So this is even without the syntax problems. Not a valid PDF UA 1 file. And I can actually create a report, so for keeping track of what could be fixed or saved as a PDF UA 1 conforming file or not. And it will list the syntax problems, but also, as you see in the center of this report page, also report that errors have been found, and I could enter my name and date, stuff like that, so that you could find out who it was that did the checking. It's a free download for the demo version, just use the PDF UA 1. Checking as you see fit. It runs on Mac and Windows, so that's good for designers working on Mac, and I hope you like it.
Thank you, Olaf. Our next vendor is Crawford Technologies.
All right. Hey, good morning, guys. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time up here. You guys are going to have to listen to me for 45 minutes a little bit later on this afternoon, so I'll keep it brief. My name is Steve Estabrook. I work for a company called Crawford Technologies. We've been in the business of print transformation and document transformation now for probably 20 years. So what we do in this space is a little bit different. We're very, I'd call ourselves very disruptive type technology. Because we already deal with a lot of organizations, what we've been doing is more, I guess, transforming stuff that comes right from source when you're printing a document or coming from archives, saving documents in large and high volume print streams. We can take that and convert it at that point using basic business rules and tagging of the documents. And essentially we can output all of the documents that are coming out of that input to accessible format in PDF UA. So it's a little bit harder to understand because of that complexity. I'm going to give you some ideas later on. Credit cards, credit card statements, invoices, government statements, government forms, anything that kind of has a background in similar format on a PDF. We can tag that, and it's kind of like a filter. So when all the dynamic content, like customers' information, what their spending habits are, and all that stuff, all get put into the format as it goes through, and it comes out fully transformed in PDF UA format. So it's quite interesting. And then we've just recently worked on a product that I'll show you later too, if you want to see. It's very interesting. If you look at this PDF, I know it's hard to see, I'll even pass one around. There's a little
barcode up here that looks like a QR code. It's actually a 2D barcode that we worked with a company called VoiceEye. And it actually can hold up to 255,000 characters. So we've got the ability to take a PDF or take something print in high volume like this one here is a bank statement. All the information that's on here is all inside that barcode. So essentially we've made print accessible now as well. So our whole philosophy is, you know, versus accommodation and having to segregate and say that you need something accessible. We're going at it, why not make everything accessible? So hopefully you guys, if you have any questions in the meantime, come and talk, but we'll be showing you a little bit more about it this afternoon in the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Next up is for us, Norris, from NetCentric Technologies.
Hello everybody, my name is Firas Reyes. I'm the CTO and co-CEO of NetCentric Technologies. We're the makers of Common Look suite of products. Our company, NetCentric, was established in 1995. We are document compliance specialists. We have products and services around the Common Look, or around PDF accessibility. We work with, also I've been involved with ISO work since probably 2010. We have a presence in Canada, the US, and Australia, and we also have resellers in Europe. So we believe there are 3 levels of compliance. You start at the author level, where you want basically all your new documents to start accessible. So if you have the source documents, we have the Common Look Office Global Access tools, which take Word documents and PowerPoint documents and convert them to accessible PDF. So this basically integrates through the authoring process, or into, sorry, the authoring process. It asks you a few questions while you're generating the document. So you've done, or you're working on making your document or authoring your document. You then go to generate a Common Look PDF. It takes that document, asks you a few questions, highlights areas where it needs to collect additional information if some information is missing. And also tries to save as much as possible of this information back into the Word document or the PowerPoint document, thus making the source document also more accessible. Okay, so this is on the authoring level. If you have existing PDFs, or if you want to do QA, we have the Common Look PDF Global Access, which includes testing and remediation, integrated testing and remediation. This product has been there, the Common Look PDF has been there since 2003. It's now in version 5. It's a fairly solid product, and I'll have a chance to demonstrate actually Common Look Office and Common Look PDF in the demo sessions at about 2:30. The third level is Common Look Clarity. Clarity basically is an enterprise level tool. It scans all you basically point it to a website or to a drive or something, and it scans all your PDF holdings. Enumerate, like basically goes into your HTML, parses them, collects all the PDF links, and then runs our Common Look engine, generates reports at the enterprise level so you can monitor basically your progress to compliance. Our tools are capable of generating documents adhering to PDF UA, WCAG 2, Section 508, and the HHS standard. These two, Section 508 and HHS being American standards. Okay. So these are our products. We also have services. We have you can, if you're not interested in basically remediating your own documents, you can send them to us. We remediate annually literally hundreds of thousands of documents every year. And so we can make your documents accessible to whatever standard you want to adhere to. We also provide service consulting. We provide accessibility on demand, where you also can basically, if a client asks you to make a certain document accessible, which is exactly what Adam was talking about. Some U.S. governments, don't want to just make all their documents accessible. So ones that are that people show interest in, they would send them to us, and we would make them accessible and return them to them. We also have dynamically generated PDF. So we start from the source, and we source being, say, a database or any other source of data, and we can also generate documents from there. We have training courses in Microsoft Office and in using Acrobat to make accessibility. Also training courses in the Common Look suite of products, and we have also certification courses in Common Look suite of products. I guess that's pretty much it. I will demonstrate our tools in the next session at 2:15, I believe, or 2:30. I'm not sure. So unfortunately, I didn't receive my brochures, and I didn't get my tablecloth. But if anybody is interested in receiving any of these materials, if you could leave me your business card or your email, I'd be glad to send those to you. I have them digitally. Okay. Thank you very much.